Here's 3 things filing for divorce taught me last week. Well, for the past 2 weeks, I've been sleeping on the floor of what was my prayer room. God told me to separate from my husband, so I did. The separation exposed a great deal, too. I no longer had hands to count for all the things that my husband didn't do. And so in separating, I felt justified because I was tired of carrying the weight naturally and spiritually. But God, last time we separated, I sought out for a replacement. This time, I sought out God. I didn't want to fail another test. I asked my husband about the D word and we agreed. The day came and together we went to file. The whole time I'm angry because I'm like, God, you didn't reconcile us to divorce us again. I prayed for a sign not to proceed. I prayed for an angelic visitation to stop us on the way. I was hoping my pastor would pick up by way of spirit and intervene, but nothing. For the longest, I only saw my husband and his issues. I didn't see my own. The first thing I learned was that I like the look of marriage. But I've always failed the assignment of marriage. So as you can see, I'm setting up the bedroom again. I'm going to explain why later. But can I tell y'all that this foam topper is on sale because of Black Friday. And it is so cheap and it is amazing. I slept on it last night, but I'm going to get to that. And so it's not enough to like the look of marriage. Marriage is hard work. Number 2, if given the opportunity to fight or flight, I was always willing to take flight. I didn't want to fight out of fear because I didn't want to fight just to take another L. And so I lived in love through the lens of fear. So when my husband said I didn't love him, it was because he didn't feel it. I didn't even realize I was a brick, but I put up this wall of fear, of lack of trust. Number 3, I learned that I do love my husband. I used to say the only reason why I remarried him was because God said so. And while that was the truth, it wasn't 100%. The truth is I loved him, and so I chose to remarry him. And so even presented with the opportunity that there will be another man, I still chose him. So what God said to me is all this time I wasn't praying. I was just griping and complaining. I realized that I was internalizing things and blaming him for not knowing what I didn't say. I was inadvertently punishing him for not doing what I thought he should. I took my eyes off of God and focused on my husband, and that's when I began to sink. So here I am. God said it was time for us to come back together. I stripped the bed of the old linen and put on fresh linen and this amazing topper. It arrived in the middle of the chaos. And so when I heard not to send it back, I knew that God was going to do something. After painful nights of sleeping on the floor, last night's sleep was everything. I was in that bed rubbing my feet together like a cricket. And so now what? Regardless of what my husband does, because that's between him and God. And I'm glad I didn't send the topper back because after this, I deserve a good night's sleep. As you can see, the prayer room has been restored. I hope this helps somebody. Sometimes it takes for God to isolate us for us to see us. It was sad that when I saw me, I wasn't happy.